Dear ladies and gentlemen, welcome to your favorite channel. First of all, I'd like to say thank you so much for supporting our channel to this far. If it was not because of you, we wouldn't have made it to this level. So there's a time around 3rd of August 2022, days before the general election, I heard about a prophecy from Pastor Ezekiel of the New Life Ministry that is in Kilifi County. I wanted to do analysis on this prophecy, but I chose to wait for the right time. Pastor Ezekiel is a senior pastor of New Life Ministry, that is a church that is found within Kilifi County after it relocated from Mombasa County. That was the place it was initially, Shanzu area. So Pastor Ezekiel's prophecy revolved around a possible rebellion that would be experienced because people would vote thinking that the leader they will vote for understands their plight.
Hivi ndivyo Mungu anavyosema. Kuna wale wanaitwa the electorate, wale ambao wanapiga kura. And politicians, they are striving to understand. They are working hard to understand their language, but they don't understand. And still, both groups, the two groups, the older generation and the young generation, they are going to vote because it is their duty to vote. But nobody understands what they want. They will vote anyway. But you know the repercussion of that? Eruption and rebellion.
So on the 13th September, during swearing-in ceremony, our leader, President William Samoei Ruto, indicated the probability of suspending government subsidies, citing unsustainability nature of those subsidies. I'm not an economist, but I believe government subsidies are meant kupunguza mzigo. And if you look at Mudavadi's ANC manifesto, when Mudavadi decided to join UDA that ended up forming the Kenya Kwanza, the first thing that Mudavadi cited was kupunguza mzigo. And the biggest mzigo of a common mwananchi, one is unga. Don't touch unga. Do not touch mwananchi's unga. The next thing is fuel, petrol, diesel, gas. All this, when you touch on fuel, everything by default skyrockets. All the prices of commodities will skyrocket. So don't touch unga. Do not touch petrol. That's a call that even Moi said when he was still alive. I know there's a time when, during Kibaki's era, I think the prices of unga decided to skyrocket. And then Moi said, don't touch unga. At the moment, petrol is retailing at 179. That means Boda Boda and Mama Mboga will not be able to sustain basic needs. What does that mean again? That the fare will heighten by default. So Pastor Ezekiel cited something that was very, very interesting, that the people will vote for you, but they will vote for you thinking that you understand their plight. But the sooner that they realize that you do not understand their plight and their interest is not at your heart, they will definitely rebel against you. So yesterday you heard about Raila Amolo Odinga's request for a 1 million march to Supreme Court in a move targeting at ousting the Supreme Court judges. I think that is attributed to the fact that the judgment that was released was not satisfying to them, and that that judgment was kind of biased. that is likely to cause another rebellion on the Supreme Court judges, and the people of Kenya will not have faith in that judgment should that million march be actualized. Remember, in the Constitution, it is allowed. A million march is allowed. You can do that. You can even do it to State House and host the president. It is allowed. So that is how a rebellion starts, ladies and gentlemen. So Pastor Ezekiel's prophecy is beginning to make sense to me, ladies and gentlemen.
They will vote thinking that you've understood what they want. And you want to do what they want because you've not understood what they want. They will give you their votes. Yes, they will vote for you, thinking that you've understood what they want. And it is true, you've not understood what they want. And once they vote you in, and you don't do what they want, they will come for you.
He talked about a rebellion, and that's looming. If you looked at the television yesterday, most people were crying foul over this sudden withdrawal of the fuel subsidy, citing that we thought that William Samoei Ruto was understood our problems, but now we're beginning to see it differently. Okay, we cannot blame the president. The president has said that he has a strategy that is a long-term strategy that will work towards, putting a fair price on the petrol, on the fuel prices. But until when will this be done? I mean, how long will the Kenyan people wait for this plan to work? I'm thinking, and most people, analysts and most economics think that the government should come with a temporary solution, which is the implementation of a government subsidy, so that the prices of fuel, the price of basic commodities can be contained first when they are looking for that permanent solution. Allow me to take you a bit into certain history in Egypt. There was a president by the name Hosni Mubarak. Hosni Mubarak served between 1981 and 2011, close to 30 years in power, and was ousted as a result of a rebellion that grew. Remember the mass protest. But at the moment, I think Hosni Mubarak passed on. Now he passed on. But that protest led to his hosting. Then there was a case of Muammar Gaddafi, the Libyan revolution and politician and political therapist and political theorist. He fell as a result of an uprising between warring factions, the eastern and the western warring factions. That was a result of a rebellion. So Pastor Ezekiel is coming out clear and telling the person that was on the 3rd of August, that whoever will be voted in, it could be Wagiakoya, it could be Mware, it could be William Samoei Ruto, it could be Raila, but whoever will be voted in will be voted peacefully, and the people will vote for this leader thinking that the leader understands their problem and thinking that their concerns will be addressed. Remember, in both Azimio and the Kenya Kwanza manifesto, there was a talk of reduction of prices. I remember there's a time Raila Amolo Odinga said, najua pale pesa iko na najua venye nitafanya. Then the people are moved. Everybody in Kenya wants the high cost of living to be reduced. In one of the statements that were released by Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta pointed the war in Ukraine, pointed coronavirus pandemic to have been the reason why this inflation was experienced. But the Kenya Kwanza government countered it and said that no, the president, you are lying to the people of Kenya. The result of this skyrocketing of prices, or the result of this inflation, is because of state capture. That is what Dennis Itumbi said. That is what Musalia Mudavadi said when he was in Mombasa and when he decided to talk about SGR. He talked about state capture. So on our Kenyan case, the prices of unga, petrol will be the biggest undoing of the Kenya Kwanza government. that will be the biggest undoing of the Kenya Kwanza government, especially in Mount Kenya. The people in Mount Kenya, if they could not trust their own, that is Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta, who are they to trust another person who will impose high prices on their basic community? They will rebel against that person. The rebellion that Pastor Ezekiel kept talking about in that clip is going to be visible, ladies and gentlemen, and is going to be felt, and the Kenya Kwanza government will face the full wrath of Kenyans if they do not implement the fuel strategy, the fuel subsidy, and the Unga subsidy that Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta had implemented in July. So our dear Mr. President, President William Samoei Ruto, should consider going back to his stand, a stand that he made during the oath-taking ceremony. It will not be business as usual if he continues to abolish the fuel and all other subsidies, because the common Wanjiku does not understand market forces and demand against supply. The common Wanjiku does not understand demand against supply or the market forces. Even though the people of Kenya, some of the economists understand that William Samoei Ruto has a point, but this point that William Samoei Ruto has as our president, as our fifth president, does not resonate well with the common Wanjiku. The common Wanjiku expected that the moment William Samoei Ruto took oath of office, the prices will reduce automatically. They never knew that that would not be the case, that it would take time, that it would take like 1 year, that the fertilizers will be given to the farmers who will now embark on farming to be able to produce maize that will in turn make sure that the prices of unga have reduced. Ladies and gentlemen, allow me to urge first-time viewers to subscribe into our channel. Please take a moment and hit the notification bell. You can give us a thumbs up. And until we meet again, I would like to urge you to please be safe and take care.